everybody, and welcome to a new program of this podcast, Barcelona Guide, a podcast where you can get ideas and tips to discover this amazing city. I am José Gómez, the founder of Looking Barcelona, a company where I provide tours to explore the city. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy because I have a brand new music as introduction. I love it. I love funky music. This is like funky music. Do you like it? The other one, the older, was by Bach, the famous musician, and I love it as well, but I feel that I needed a change. So I have a new music as introduction. I'm very happy. And today we are going to continue with the series of audios dedicated to all those who want to visit the city and they are accompanied by children. Today, I'm going to tell you how to organize your visit at La Sagrada Familia with your children. Sometimes, visiting a monument with children is something that can be difficult or complicated. I mean, normally the little ones don't like very much visiting museums or monuments, and that's normal because they have their reasons. I mean, in general, in this type of visit, well, there are a lot of rigid rules. For example, do not shout, don't run, don't touch. There are situations that kids sometimes do. That's normal. They are children. By this, I don't mean that all these things can be done in La Sagrada Familia, of course. But La Sagrada Familia has a very wide spaces and a part of the visit is outdoors. So for children, it is much more bearable. Today, I want to tell you about how to visit La Sagrada Familia with children, yes. So for you and for your little ones, you can enjoy the visit fullest. If you visit Barcelona, you have to visit it. It's very worth it. Parents will enjoy twice as much. On the one hand, visiting this amazing monument, and on the other hand, seeing the children's faces of surprise and admiration when they see something so original. La Sagrada Familia is a Catholic church and the most visited monument in Spain. The architect was Antonio Gaudi, who dedicated almost all his professional life to the project. He was working for 44 years, so of course he combined the work there with other projects. He used to work on 5 of 6 works at the same time. Gaudi was a very, very religious person, and for him, the construction of this temple was his dream. He started in 1882, when he was just 31 years of age, and still today it is under construction, yes. The Sagrada Familia is totally different from all churches in which you have been before. It has a unique style, inspired by the Gothic architectural style. The Gothic architectural style was developed in Europe around 12th century, and it is characterized by verticality, big windows, large windows, gargoyles. So in Europe, you can find that style in Westminster Cathedral in London or in Notre Dame in Paris. Gaudi did a new interpretation of Gothic style, and he mixed up his new interpretation with many colors and representations of animals, plants, trees, flowers. He loved nature and color. These two elements are always present in Gaudi's works, and these two elements precisely that makes it so attractive to children. In this program today, I'm going to give you some tips to help you to organize the visit to Sagrada Familia with your children and visit totally adapted to them. In the years that I have been working as a guide, I have shown this monument to many families with children, and usually they love it. I have also gone with my children as well, several times. The reason why children generally sympathize with all Gaudi's works is because, in a way, they admire that total freedom which the architect work. I think it is very easy to visit La Sagrada Familia with children because you can adapt the time of the visit to what you need. I mean, that if children are tired or they are overwhelmed, you can do the visit in 15 minutes, in 5 minutes, I mean, very quickly. Or if they feel motivated, you can do the visit in 1 hour. So 1 hour, more or less, 1 hour 20 is more or less that the time that you need an adult to visit this monument. But actually, there is no time, there is no limit to be indoors. So you can stay inside the time that you want. And La Sagrada Familia, it is not like other monuments that you leave it, that to leave it, it is necessary to follow along a specific itinerary in which sometimes it is difficult to advance. Another advantage is that the number of people inside is limited. So there are not large crowds and the spaces are open. I mean that there are very high ceilings and children can move in the area without problems. It is not necessary to be silent either. So you can talk normally. In some monuments or museums, you must speak very low, and for children that's difficult, of course. And another great advantage is that it is very easy to adapt the explanations to the little ones. As we said earlier, Gaudi loved to represent animals and colors, and in general, children love animals and colors as well. To visit this church, you need a ticket. That's important. It's not free. So, on the subject of tickets, I always advise you to buy them a few days before. That's very important, an important point. And online, on the official website of La Sagrada Familia. In this way, we will avoid extra commissions which other intermediaries charge commissions, and of course you don't have to pay. You can buy tickets on the day of the visit as well at the ticket offices, but attention, it is not a good idea. Many times they are sold out, or you have to wait long queues, and we know that long queues with little ones is not advisable. So they don't like long queues, children. So when you purchase your ticket online, you must choose a time to enter inside. Here comes another key point. What time to choose? I think it's better to choose the first hour in the morning. La Sagrada Familia opens at 9 a.m. That the ideal for me is to visit it at 9 a.m. or 9:30. So, except on Sundays, where there are masses and the church usually opens at 10:30. Or also, if there is a special event, the schedule can be also modified. And why is better to do the visit early in the morning, in my opinion? Because normally is when the little ones can be fresher and more motivated. If we go earlier, so we also avoid the hottest hours, because summer months in Barcelona, I mean June, July, August, are so hot and humid. And if we choose afternoon schedules, so I think the afternoon is complicated, especially if the little ones need a nap or it's a hot day. And another important point to take care is the transport we choose to the monument. If we decide to go on foot and the distance is long, children may get tired and they can start to complain. So arriving by metro is another option. Beside La Sagrada Familia, there are 3 metro stations. The name of the metro station is easy. It is called Sagrada Familia. Pay attention, because there is another stop called Sagrada, since the name is similar, but it is located at the other part of the city. I leave you writing, don't worry, I leave you writing in the notes of the program the name of the right metro station. A good option, if you are standing far away or with a bad combination of public transport, is to go by taxi. Taxis prices in Barcelona are not very expensive and it's easier. And don't worry if you are in a hurry and you arrive a little bit later at your ticket time. There is a margin of about 30 minutes to enter. So if you have bought your ticket for 9:30, you can enter until 10, for example. So this is on the date of the recording of this audio in October 2020. Although I have been organizing guided tours for about 12 years, and there has always been this margin of time to enter. A margin that turns out to be very practical. It is important to arrive calmly, without haste, and with a good disposition. The church will have 3 doors: the Nativity, the Passion, and the Glory one, which will be the main entrance and is still under construction. So the entrance for visitors is by the Nativity facade. But before entering, in front there is a garden, a park called Plaza de Gaudi. It is Spanish for Gaudi Square. You will see a small lake and we can go to the other part of the lake. It's just 4 minutes walking. From there is a good view and we can take a photo. From there you can enjoy an amazing view of Nativity facade. You will see in the central part of the facade there is a large green stone tree. Ask the children if they can locate it. When they have seen it, ask them what tree it is. Actually, I know because I have studied it. It is a cypress tree. Cypress tree is a symbol of spirituality, as it tends to rise to the sky. On the cypress tree, you will see that there are birds. There are doves. They symbolize the Holy Spirit. And attention, under the cypress tree, it's a white pelican with its babies. The pelican is a symbol of sacrifice. And there is a myth, a tale, that says that the pelican makes blood with his beak and feeds his little ones with his own blood. That's like Jesus who sacrificed himself for humanity. All these elements can be seen from the point where we are standing now. In the upper part, on the left-hand side, you can see fruit: apples, oranges, raspberries, strawberries, and so on. They are very colorful and made of ceramic. Gaudi used fruit and color as symbol of life. Kids normally love to tell us what types of fruit they can distinguish. At this point, it is interesting to explain them that Gaudi was an architect and ask them if they know what an architect is. Explain them that is the person who designed, who imagined the whole project, and he had a team of 150 people around him. Today, the current team continues to work on the models that Gaudi left behind. After taking a photo, we can go in. We cross Marina Street and there is the entrance. Maybe there is a small line, but there are people who have our same schedule to access. Inside, there are some scanners where they will check our handbags. It is a security check. So we go upstairs and we are already next to the Nativity facade that talks about the birth of Jesus. The facade is impressive. It has 4 towers that measure each one about 127 meters. It is made of sandstone, a bit dark by the passage of time. So we see many sculptural groups that tell us about the first years of the life of Jesus. In the center part, we notice Jesus, Mary and Joseph. On the sides, the shepherds who come to adore the child. Also, we see the three wise men, and we can ask the children the name of the three wise men that are Melchior, Gaspar, and Balthasar. And at the top, in the upper part, there is the Annunciation. The angel Gabriel tells Mary that she will be the mother of Jesus. We see other scenes, such as the massacre of the innocents, the flight to Egypt, or Jesus talking with his father. And among the sculptures, there are some animals. We can involve the little ones. We can ask them to locate these animals. It can be a good game. We can see all these animals between the sculptures. So we see the mule, the donkey, next the shepherds. There is a small dog. So we see lots of birds, chickens, pigeons, geese. And on the large green bronze doors, an army of nice and funny insects. The doors are the magnificent work of a Japanese sculptor named Etsuro Soto. Gaudi didn't leave anything about these doors. They are a magnificent contemporary interpretation of the Japanese sculpture. The little ones discovered the doors with surprise and excitement. They love to find all those little bronze insects, centipedes, butterflies, so ladybugs, amantis, worms, flowers, little frogs, various types of amphibians, birds. The door is like a celebration, an explosion of life that the doors lead inside the temple. And on the facade also there are two large columns that turn out to be palm trees. In the upper part we can see branches, and these columns are supported by two huge turtles. One is a marine and the other is a land turtle. Why? Because Barcelona has sea and mountains. These two elements are represented by these two turtles. Children love to take a picture with these funny turtles. And we go inside through these doors. And what we find inside is totally unexpected. Everyone is surprised to enter, and almost everyone has the same reaction. Look up and admire it. We see a sober and beautiful environment with a very modern design. Vivid colors are reflected everywhere. Vivid colors that come from stained glass windows. At this point, I would like to turn to the children and ask them what is their favorite color is, and ask them to look for it. You will see that there are blues, greens, oranges, yellows, and all the tones change depending on the position of the sun. You will see the reflections on the columns of all these colors. We have to explain to the little ones that the interior is like a big forest. The 54 columns represent large trees that extend their branches towards the sky. That was Gaudi's idea, represent a large forest. Some children tell me that the interior for them is like entering a Tolkien tale, like the Ringmaster or the Hobbit. Sometimes during my guided tours, there are people who get emotional and cry excited when they enter. With children, you can walk through the interior at your own pace. A good idea is to sit down on one of the benches to contemplate the atmosphere inside. After you can approach to the altar, you will see that behind the altar there is an ambulatory. An ambulatory is a small corridor that surround the altar. Through some large windows, you can see the crypt in this ambulatory. The crypt is an underground church down the altar where Gaudi is buried. Gaudi died at the age of 74, run over by a tram. The tomb is located to the left of the altar inside the crypt. A very marble A very simple marble indicates it. Normally there are red candles and flowers. We left through the facade of Passion. The doors that we see again are large and made of bronze. The sculptor, Mr. Subirats, loved to play with numbers, and thus on the left door at our eye level, we find a little square or about 10 centimeters. It's the well-known magic square. There are several rows of numbers, and the sum is always 33, the age of Jesus when he was crucified. It is like a Sudoku. If the little ones know how to add, we can play with them to see if they can do the sum. They can try to find the result. That is 33, remember, always 33 in all sense. If we walk some steps, we are outdoors again, and we admire all the sculptures on the Passion facade. It is the cross station. The last 3 days of Jesus Christ, you will see the Last Supper, the Judas kiss, the denial of Peter, Jesus going up with the cross, Jesus already crucified. The style is very modern. In fact, Subirats, the sculptor, he was a big fan of Picasso and the Cubism. The characters are represented by geometric and cubic motifs. Sometimes the characters are depicted, representing from the from and the side at the same time, as Picasso himself did. The ensemble turns out to be very expressive and dramatic. The feelings of pain or misery stands out. Between all these characters, there are more animals. Let's play with our little ones to find them. Next to Judas' kiss, there is a snake, symbol of evil. In the set of the Last Supper, there is a dog, a symbol of fidelity. And in Peter's denial, there is a rooster. Beside the facade, there is a surprising and small building, where both the walls and the roof are wavy. This is the school, and Gaudi designed it. Gaudi did a school for the children of the workers, of the 150 workers that who collaborated with him. Today, it is a small museum. The inside is very funny. Some photos of the children in the desk, in the courtyard, doing gymnastics. There is also a reproduction of a classroom with the typical furniture from that period. The school was working until 1936. Children love to sit down because desks are very different from the ones they currently have in their classrooms. It is an ideal place to take a funny photo. And if they are still motivated, I suggest you to visit the museum. In addition to some photos of Gaudi, you can see the models that the architect used. There is a very original one made from threads and small bags. It is a model that the brilliant architect used to calculate the tension forces of the building. Actually, it's a model upside down. There is also a small cinema where you can enjoy a very interesting video about the construction. So a quick visit to the museum can take around 8-10 minutes. And well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. I hope you found this audio interesting. So you can subscribe to the podcast if you want, and the new emissions, you can get the new emissions very easy. So you can do a like if you want, and write me and tell me about a place that you like in Barcelona, or about your experiences traveling with children. So I wait for you in a new chapter. So goodbye, adios.